Hi, I'm Med.
And I'm Charlie.
And today we're going to be talking about smart cities and how they're connected to the LA fires.
Wildfires.
Yeah, well,
Well,
we're not going to do conspiracy, but...
Yeah, we are.
No, but I
That's
mean...
literally the whole purpose of this episode.
Yeah, but...
We're debunking.
We're debunking,
Yeah.
yes.
Let's start with kind of like breaking down the basics. So, do you know what a smart city is?
Please enlighten me. I do, by the way.
No, he doesn't.
I don't.
It's only because I explained to him before we started filming. No, I'm joking. To be fair, I didn't really know what a smart city was either before starting to like research this whole thing. A smart city, it's like a concept that's been around for a good like couple decades.
Have we got any smart
There are lots of like projects and like ideas of what a smart city might look like. I would potentially a smart post office, if you will. To my knowledge, I don't know if there's any like fully fledged ones, or at least there's none in kind of like metropolitan like cities.
Maybe in China.
Potentially, I don't know. I'm not an expert on the matter.
Okay.
But what a smart city basically is it's a city where technology is ingrained into everything. Whether it's like better transport, better public services, greater like healthcare, like anything like that. Technology is embedded into the construction of that city.
So like electric, trams, trains.
Yeah. Let's say you fall over and break your arm in the street. A drone would probably arrive and give you some like first aid before the ambulance got there.
And they probably have loads of those like Amazon stores where you just walk in and walk back out.
Yeah, every store would be like Amazon store
So just
vibes.
eradicate humans.
Potentially, I suppose you could argue that. I mean, smart cities are quite controversial in nature because they do employ so much AI and artificial intelligence.
Absolute Black Mirror episode.
Kind of, yeah. Like that nosedive where you rate people. Did you watch that Black Mirror episode?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like they have the phone in your...
Who knows Black Mirror episodes by their names?
Me.
That was a really good episode.
Such a good episode. Very stressful, but very good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, smart cities are supposed to be kind of the future of the world. I mean, like, a good example that we could probably discuss that people probably know the most about is the Line in Saudi Arabia.
Yes. That's had a bit of, like, controversial... Like, people not being too keen on it.
No.
Because they really want to, like, have everyone living there and keep an eye on everyone.
Yeah.
It's like Big Brother, basically.
Yeah.
And also, it's massive. You can see it from space. The distance is probably like driving from London to Birmingham.
Oh my God. That's a good like visual. I'm really bad with measurements, so I would have no clue if you told me kilometers.
That's so far.
But that is really far.
Running 4 marathons.
The Line, I know, has got quite a lot of controversies related to it. Some people, for example, have highlighted concerns about the surveillance and privacy due to its heavy reliance on data and AI. Also, something that I haven't actually seen too many people talking about, which I think is probably, I would argue, one of the biggest concerns, is the construction of the Line is going to displace an entire group of indigenous tribes.
And then living in the desert?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then also I think it's going to mess up migration patterns for birds. Like it goes straight in the middle of like one of the migration patterns.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
It does straight in the middle of like one of the migration patterns.
Really?
Yeah.
That distance, it looks really cool.
No cars, yeah.
It's just going to give me vibes of
Like one of the migration patterns. Yeah.
It looks
Yes.
really it's just going to be like tunnels and roads and like trams going one side to the other.
And
Like
they've said that the way that they're going to have to build the buildings is also potentially a hazard, like and a safety risk. I think that they've said that they want it to be predominantly one of the migration patterns. They're going to have to build the buildings. It's only 5 years away. I think it started...
2021?
Yeah, it was commissioned back in like 2021 and construction started pretty much straight away.
Do you think people are going to go there for holiday?
No.
You sure? I reckon people will go there for holiday.
I don't know if it'll be open for that kind of...
It would just be residential.
I presume so.
Literally living in the middle of nowhere.
The reason why we're talking about smart cities, why they can sometimes be labelled as controversial and all of that type of stuff, is because the LA wildfires right now are devastating the entire city. Like, I think 24 people have died so far. That number probably will go up. Hundreds of thousands of residents have been evacuated. Entire like blocks have just been decimated.
Didn't they have forest fires last year?
They have forest fires
Quite
lot
a lot,
out there.
right?
Yeah.
And I think last year or the year before on X, formerly known as Twitter, they were talking about the government like shooting massive lasers down
Yeah.
to start them. I mean, I don't know how real that is, but
Yeah, I mean, probably not very real.
but this leads on to the conversation you were saying about the government doing something to try and achieve their goals.
Yeah, so there's a couple of conspiracy theories on Twitter right now. The main one being about Smart LA 2028, which is a plan that was set forth by the Los Angeles City Council authorities. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the like specific bureaucracy behind all of it. But the whole point is that obviously LA is hosting the summer 2028 Olympics. And the city wanted to like rejuvenate itself and have like a bit of a facelift, if you will, and turn itself into a smart city. And so back in 2020, they published these like public records, these plans of how they were going to turn LA into a smart city. It was going to like improve the water quality. It's going to improve like waste disposal. It was going to make like for better public and safer spaces.
Like, let's get it straight. Some places in LA are like a shithole.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think LA it's a city like every other city. You have places where lots of money has been pumped into it to make it really like pretty for tourists and rich people. And then you have places that have been kind of not looked after and disregarded by
everyone.
Public funding and stuff like that.
They need like trams.
Are trams a thing in, is it San Francisco?
San Francisco. But that's what they need. Like, the roads are so big and places are so close but yet so far. Have you been in the trams in, is it Lewisham?
No, I haven't.
South London has trams.
Really?
Yeah. Is it Lewisham? Yeah. Croydon. Croydon has
oh my
trams.
God, should we have a day out?
What, in Croydon?
I love trams.
Like full on, like, yeah. Our producer said
we can just have lunch at Manny's.
What, in Croydon?
I love trams.
Like full on, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And do you reckon they asked people like, hey, can we knock your building down because we want to do this? And everyone's like, no.
Yeah, I don't know the details behind it. Because I'm not entirely sure exactly where they're planning on rebuilding and sorting the situation. But what people are saying on Twitter is that, isn't it a coincidence that these fires that are basically taking out all of these properties and creating available land is happening just a few years before the city is planning on
demolishing anyway.
Exactly.
Just made the job really easy for them.
Exactly. And so that's the kind of conspiracy theory that's going on online. Now, I think we should obviously preface the fact that it's an interesting theory and it's really interesting. However, obviously, I think we need to keep reminding ourselves that what's important in this discussion is the fact that people are dying. Yes, I know that the media has been primarily covering the celebrities who have lost their houses.
It's so dumb.
But there will have been tens and thousands of people who've lost their homes, who are not celebrities and who do not have the financial means, I'll just go and buy another house down the road or whatever.
Do you think because it happens quite a lot, the people that live in that area take out insurance for fires, like forest fires?
I bet they have fire insurance.
Yeah, I reckon so. But also people saying that it's a conspiracy, like how much have they paid the wind? Because the wind's got a lot to do with it. But yeah, I think how much have they paid? People are reaching a little bit. But then we're saying that and it could be true. We don't really know.
I don't know if you've seen this, that comparing it to the Maui fires back in 2020.
Oh yeah.
Or no, sorry, 2023.
A lot of people said that was lasers.
So
They did.
The way that you're backing this theory really makes me feel like you were one of the ones on Twitter being like, has anyone thought about lasers? Yeah. Don't know if anyone's seen some red dots out there in the hills.
It's like, how has forest fire melted glass?
No, fire melts glass.
No, it doesn't. Fires don't melt glass.
So if you put a Bunsen burner underneath a beaker, what would happen?
Have you never done science before?
Sorry, that's very rude. Have you never done science before?
The whole point of putting a...
Yeah, but after a while...
It doesn't melt, does it?
What happens? It just stays black, it doesn't do anything?
It just goes black and then you can just clean it off.
The
house is on fire...
After a while...
It doesn't melt, does it?
It just fire. It just stays black, it doesn't do anything.
It just goes black and then you can just clean it off.
No, if you put... The melting point of glass is between 800 degrees Celsius and 950 degrees Celsius.
Okay, does a house fire... or does a forest fire melt glass?
In addition, the flame's temperature is high enough to melt glass, causing it to bend and stretch.
Or does a forest fire...
The melting point of glass is between... No, you can't just... Okay, so you definitely are a conspiracy theorist because I'm reading out facts to you and you're going, no, you don't wear... Stop acting as though all of a sudden you don't have vision. The melting point of glass...
So, anyway...
I think the real question is, who actually didn't do science. Okay, anyway, we've gone on a tangent.
Yeah, we have.
So, the Maui fires, which happened in 2023, lots of people think that they were manufactured by the city or by, authorities because Hawaii had plans for what they called the 2030 agenda, which was supposed to basically kind of be turning Maui and kind of other cities like that into smart cities or like rebuilding, reconstructing, all that type of jazz. And so people have kind of linked the two and gone, look, everyone thought that these were manufactured back in 2023 in Maui. Who's to say that we're not seeing the same thing happen in LA? The thing that's difficult with this that I think probably is like making it harder is that new fires are cropping up every single day. Like there have been videos of people setting fires. We still don't know how the original fire started. And more often than not, those types of fires are started by arsonists. So, or it could have been literally someone throwing a cigarette on the ground and it's starting a fire. Like we don't know how it started.
Who's going on a hike in the woods and then having a cigarette? That's brilliant.
Oh my God, probably like loads of people. Did you see the video of Mel Gibson?
What, on Joe Rogan?
Was it on Joe Rogan that he spoke about? Or I thought it was with
He
Fox
spoke about some really unhinged things, but
I think it was a Fox News interview.
No. So he was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Got you.
When his house was set alight. So he didn't.
When it was happening.
Yeah. So he didn't know his house was going to be like. Well, he didn't know his house was going to burn down, but he was on the podcast. So I think it was actually it's not on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did see that.
Just really quickly, I think it might be interesting to read out a few of the tweets that I've been seeing where people are kind of really pushing this theory that the wildfires that are going on in LA right now have actually been manufactured.
Are these all from X?
Yeah, they're all from X. And
of course they are.
I just want to also preface by saying that we do not agree with this theory. And I'm making a joint statement. So, how does LA plan on turning their city into a smart city by 2028? They'd have to do something crazy like burn down entire neighborhoods in order for that to happen. Geez, that would be some wild right-wing conspiracy shit for that to happen. That would never happen. I think I'm going to say that he's being sarcastic at the end there.
Oh, I was literally going to ask, when was that tweeted? Because that could be interesting if it was tweeted ages ago.
No. It was tweeted like 3 days ago.
Oh, okay, fine.
And he's defo being sarcastic.
I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but I can't help but wonder why LA is burning now. Couldn't have anything to do with the Los Angeles smart city to be completed before 2028 Olympic that's hosting.
You said that so funny. 2028 Olympic.
Look, people have jumped onto this conspiracy and there's a high chance maybe it is true.
So I think, like, conspiracy theories aside, obviously what's happening in LA right now is really horrible and really upsetting. It's obviously interesting to see how people always want to grasp at something. I think also natural disasters do just push people into kind of insane, like, fight or flight survival mode. And so it kind of makes sense why all of these theories are cropping up.
Like, we're human. We really want to know everything.
We want to have an explanation to everything.
Exactly. We want to have some sort of reasoning. But it's
cropping up. We want to have an explanation to Apple TV will be on that shit in 2027. We want to have an explanation, but obviously, again, very sad.
Thank you for watching. If you did like this episode, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe.
Bye.